Who is that? Is that Carrie Alonso? Okay. State of Michigan versus Leanna Sturdivant, case number 18S00561.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender, Chinazi Carrie Akinruli, on behalf of Ms. Sturdivant. Ms. Sturdivant, can you state your full name for the record?
You're muted, ma'am.
Leanna Sturdivant. Sorry about that.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Okay.
Judge, today's date and time set for a pretrial when the security bail issue. My notes indicate that we have sent a copy to Ms. McDuffie. Is that right, Rachel?
Let's see. No. I do not have anything. Let me just search her first name too, just to make sure. But I don't believe I see anything. Yep, just her last adjournment from last time. That's the only email I have on her.
Judge, can we pass it, please?
Yes, I'll pass it over. Give you an opportunity to get the documentation over to her.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pass it. I'll recall it in just a moment. Okay, Ms. Sturdivant?
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, I'm gonna call the Zakia Graham matters next. Zakia Graham. Case numbers 18S 344255 A, B, and C, as well as 22W005089 A, B, C, and D, and E. 18. Nope, I think that's it.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant
Paul
Public
Barnett on behalf of the township.
Every time. I'm sorry, Paul.
It's okay.
Assistant Public Defender, Chinazi Carrie Akinruli, on behalf of Ms. Zakia Graham. Ms. Graham, can you state your name for the record, please?
Zakia Graham.
Ms. Zakia Graham, please turn on your video.
My phone broke.
All right, then you're gonna have to come into court in person.
Hi, Ms. Johnson. She does listen.
I got court is at 11, and I can't come to court. I can't come in court. I don't have a car.
Ma'am? This is not a negotiation.
Okay.
Judge, we were going to be asking for an adjournment today. We haven't been able to ascertain the status of Graham's license yet.
I haven't still got a birth certificate. It says I qualify the records. They said it's not going to be here until June. There's no other way that I can order a birth certificate, and that's the only thing I can use to get my license is a birth certificate or a passport.
She's still suspended.
Okay. So do we have a date into June, Judge? I know that these are 22 cases, but I'm not sure about how many adjournments we've had.
One, two, three, four on that ticket. That's a driving while license suspended. It's not what it would be. This would be the first one. This would be the first one on these.
Yep, I'm gonna make a payment this week.
And then the other ones are failure to pay. And then traffic signal, crowd restraint. So the ones where she needs to get the license, one of them has about 5 adjournments, the other one only has 1.
So Judge, according to Ms. Graham, what's holding her from getting that license is attaining her birth certificate. And I think she indicated she wouldn't be able to get that until June. Is it at all possible for us to do one final adjournment? Ms. Graham, is it just the birth certificate, then you can get the license, or do you still have stuff you need to?
Just the birth certificate.
She's suspended. Out of 1482.
I don't know if I just filed my taxes recently, and they said I called and they said that my state check was sent to the court. I mean, when come leave that out now.
It appears she just has one suspension out of 1482 for failure to comply with a judgment for no proof of insurance from 2015. I'm not willing to adjourn it for 60 days.
And Ms. Graham can just plead to no ops on I think one of mine is a DWLS on case A, so there's that.
I can adjourn it for 45 days. That's the max I'm gonna adjourn it, and it will be in person, the next court appearance.
We'll take what we can get, Judge. Thank you very much.
June 6, 2023. At 9 a.m.
In person and pro se. Mr. Ryan, you're here on 3 counts. In count 1, you're accused of speeding 60 miles per hour in a 30 mile per hour zone. The charge does not carry jail time, but it does have a possible fine up to $500. The scheduled fine, typically imposed for 60 and a 30, is $195 plus $108 in court costs for a total of $303. Then in count 2, you're accused of operating a motor vehicle without registration or with an expired tag. That is an unclassified misdemeanor. It carries a fine up to $2,500. It also carries a possible jail sentence of anywhere from 30 days up to 6 months. In count 3, you're accused of operating a motor vehicle without liability insurance. This is a Class B non-person misdemeanor. It carries a minimum fine on a first offense of $300 up to $1,000, and it has a possible jail sentence up to 6 months. One other point I should make is that on that speeding 60 and a 30, if that had been in a school zone or a work zone, that fine would double. And what I have before me doesn't indicate one way or the other. Do you understand, sir, what you're accused of and the possible penalties I've just gone over?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how old are you, Mr. Ryan?
I am 21, Your Honor.
21. Do you live here locally?
I was here for a short time. I was actually here taking care of my grandparents. That the vehicle is theirs, and we just put them in a nursing home. And I was trying to get their vehicle from Newton, Kansas to El Dorado Springs, Missouri, because my dad is their legal law of attorney, and he's supposed to acquire every possession of my grandparents while they're at the nursing home.
All right, so the answer is you're not local here. Your grandparents were maybe? No, they were from Newton,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you live in Missouri, so you were just passing through.
Yes, Your Honor.
And your dad put you in the car without any tags or insurance, and you were going 30 through, or 60 through town? Don't answer that. I'm going to enter a plea of, well, hold on. Are you going to have an attorney or not?
No, Your Honor.
You don't want to hire an attorney to help you with these charges?
I spent all my money trying to transport all my grandparents' belongings from one place to storage, Your Honor. And
Well, I'm sorry.
yes, Your Honor.
Well, you're looking at a B misdemeanor up to 6 months in the county jail and an unclassified misdemeanor. You're looking at a $300 and some fine in one count, a mandatory $300 in another count. And that doesn't even address the tag and registration charge.
Your Honor, if I may say something, I was speeding up to catch up to the 65-mile speed limit from the time it showed that it was a 30-mile/hour, and then I saw the 65-mile/hour sign up ahead, and I was trying to speed up to about 60 to 65 to catch up to the speed limit on the freeway or highway, because I was trying to leave town, but I wasn't going 60 through town.
Okay, the officer said you were on Highway US 54 at milepost 286.
Yes, Your Honor, but I did not go 60 through town. I went 6. I started going up to 60 when I was trying to get from the 30-mile/hour to the 65-mile/hour. To
Now,
the
according to the officer, you were still in the 30-mile/hour zone. So let me just tell you a few more things, sir.
yes, Your Honor.
You do have the right to plead not guilty and set these for trial. The trial will not be today. It will be at another day, and the state will have the burden of trying to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did each of these. And if they can't, you'll be found not guilty, and that will be
Yes,
that.
Your Honor.
You do have the right also to plead guilty, admitting them, and you proceed to sentencing. You can plead no contest, neither admitting or denying the charges, but you would basically still be found guilty. And I've told you what the penalties
Yes, Your
could
Honor.
be. You have the right to talk to an attorney before you enter this plea.
Yes,
You
Your
can
Honor.
hire any attorney of your choice, but if you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply to the court and see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
Yes, Your
Would you
Honor.
like to do that before you proceed any further?
Yes, Your Honor. I would also like, is there any chance for me to get an OR bond?
Well, let's cross one bridge at a time.
Yes, Your Honor.
You said, yes?
Judge, he has a clean driving record to date. He may be eligible for diversion through the county attorney's office if he's got a job and can take care of his costs. So that is also available to him.
Okay.
I
Now, Ms. Gillette is talking about diversion. Have you ever had a diversion?
yes, I'm currently on a divergence, and I'm currently 6 months into it without any problems. And I'm currently paying $50 a month without any problems at the current moment.
Is that in Missouri or Kansas?
That's in Kansas, Newton, Kansas.
So what did you get in Newton, Kansas if you live in Missouri?
So when I was living in Newton, Kansas, there's a person named Calvin, and I told the judge there this too, and I showed him proof about what happened. This dude threatened to kill my best friend and rape my other friend, and he said it multiple times. He even said that she better not go to school, so on and so forth. And so we went down there to talk it out to him, and
We,
me and Dean, the dude he was threatening, because I'm ex-military and I don't take kindly when somebody threatens to either rape one of my friends or kill my other one. So I wasn't planning on doing anything. So when we went down there, he constantly kept instigating a fight between him and Dean and me, saying we were not man enough to do anything about it. And I was like, well, I could slash your tires. And he goes, go for it. And then so slashed 3 of his tires. And then I showed proof of everything that was said and done. And so they were like, we understand what happened. And like I told them, I'm not proud of what I done, but I don't necessarily regret it, because even though it was a $565 fine, Calvin got investigated for multiple death threats and harassment, sexual harassment on multiple charges.
Okay, and Calvin is the one who, the tires you slid?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and they gave you diversion in Newton? Was that
Yes,
through
Your Honor.
Newton or Harvey County, or do you know the difference?
It's Harvey County, Your Honor.
Okay. And what were you doing there? You were living with what? Was that when you were taking care of your grandparents? You were living
Yes,
with
Your
them?
Honor. Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
So you've been in Kansas for how long?
About 8 months, Your Honor.
Okay. And so you are on diversion, and now you're here.
Yes,
Miss
Your Honor.
Gillette, do you still think you might be a diversion candidate knowing that?
It's possible. I mean, his driving record is clear. He's never had driving offenses.
All right. Well, some counties treat them separately and some treat them one and the same. So apparently you're lucky that Miss Gillette looks at them differently, traffic from criminal.
Thank you, Miss.
So you know all about diversion, you're on diversion.
Yes,
If
Your
you
Honor.
want to apply for diversion with Miss Gillette, you can.
I would like to apply for that because first off, I did necessarily speed up in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. I should have sped up after the 65-mile-per-hour sign. So yes, and
Where were you at the time?
I was going on the road that leads from here to Fort Leonard, or yeah.
Well, you were on 54, but had you cleared Eureka?
It said I did when I started to speed up. So it showed the 30 to mile an hour, and I saw the buildings pass by because it was raining that day. I didn't really see much through my side windows. And I saw ahead of me a 65-mile-per-hour sign. And so I started speeding up, and then I put it on cruise control because it's a 2015 vehicle that has cruise control installed into it.
Ms. Gillette, do you know where mile marker 286 is?
I'd have to look, Judge.
How about you, Sheriff Samuels? I saw you downstairs. Where is mile marker 286, if you know? Maybe he's not still here. Well, I can't help but think that if it's 30, you were still in city limits. But all right, so do you
Judge,
want?
that mile marker is just on the east side of town. Within
Okay.
a mile east of town, I believe.
All right, thank you, Deputy. That's kind of what I was thinking. That's probably where it was. So you're going to apply for diversion. You're not going to apply for an attorney. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yes, Your Honor, I cannot afford an attorney at the moment.
I think I got my question answered, Sheriff Samuels. I was asking where mile marker 286 was. Deputy thinks it's about a mile east of town.
That's where he was finally stopped at, yes, ma'am.
Oh, where he was finally stopped. He was going 30 before there.
Correct. He was going 30 in the city limits, but yes, he finally got stopped at the 286.
Okay. All right. So we got that answered, what they're saying you did. No tags, no insurance. And
No, Your Honor.
if you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply and see if you qualify for court appointed. They're not necessarily free. They're based on your ability to pay, but if you can't pay, then you don't pay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Otherwise, it's a minimal amount that you would pay
Yes,
if you
Your Honor.
could afford. But Ms. Gillette's invited you to apply for diversion.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the deputy can either give you a give you an application for diversion or for attorney, whichever you want, or both. And I'm going to set this over for whatever date my assistant Missy gives us. When will that be?
So will I be forced to stay in jail until then?
Now let's find out when your court date is. Missy?
We could do it April 28th at 11.
Okay, you'll need to be back here by Zoom, April 28th at 11,
Yes.
unless you get diversion. Now, if you're going for diversion, get in there and get that done. Don't wait until April 28th and come in here.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll do it right after this call, Your Honor.
All right, you would just be amazed at how many people come in here and give me reasons why they didn't apply for diversion and they need more time.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, now the issue of bond. Ms. Gillette, would the state like to be heard on the issue of bond?
Judge, I don't have an objection to lowering his bond. I think a night in jail is probably kind of maybe woke him up.
Did you stay in jail when you were in Harvey County?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
This is the first time ever being put in jail. I try to make sure I have as clean of a slate as possible.
You said you're in the military. How long were you in the military?
I was in the Army for a year and a half. I was November 15th, 15 November, I was an avionic technician for Black Hawks and Chinook helicopters in the Army. I applied for 160th, which was Special Forces support. I got accepted into that, but I got uncharacterized discharge because I had surgery done for appendicitis, and they gave me 10 milligrams of oxycodone, and I'd have to take it one at 9 a.m. and I'll have to take one around 9 p.m. and we had exercise around 4 a.m. and I want to be able to do that. And so one of my drill sergeants didn't like how I refused to work out, and so she wrote me up almost 20 times, and my commander told me he understood exactly what was going on, but I still disobeyed an NCO, and so he gave me an uncharacterized with the notion of coming back in 6 months without going through basic training. But I have to go through AIT again.
Okay. Well, let's have you come back here April 28th at 11, unless Ms. Gillette tells you you're diverted and you don't have to.
Yes,
And
I'll be on time.
I appreciate that. It will be by Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor. So should I come back to this station for the Zoom call, Your Honor?
You can do that. Where do you live? Is it El Dorado Springs, Missouri?
Yes, Your Honor. I can definitely still make it by the 28th.
All right. Well, get your application turned in are you going back home to El Dorado Springs?
I'll most likely be heading back to Newton until my parents got the finances to be able to get gas to come get me. Because I'm slap dab in the middle. Sorry, Your Honor.
Okay, where are your parents? Are they in Missouri or Newton?
Missouri. My
How much did you say that bond was?
I hadn't gotten to that. I was trying to figure out what would be appropriate with his circumstances. So if I gave you an OR bond, how would you get to Newton?
So I go there every month for my divergence. And so we could just work around that. And
But how would you get there? You don't have
my parents are chauffeurs for the Amish. They're drivers for the Amish. So they do have vehicles. It's just a lot of the time they have to work around their schedule when they're not driving the Amish around.
But I thought they lived in Missouri. Are they in Newton?
No. Oh, you're asking how I would get to Newton. So I'm currently courting somebody who would be willing to come pick me up and take me down to Newton for a couple of days until my parents come, and of course come down also to sign some more paperwork for my grandparents, and then I'll just catch a ride with them because they have to go through Newton back home. It's a little complicated. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
All right. So there is a young lady in Newton
Yes, Your
that
Honor.
will come and get you and take you there. And where will you stay?
Their parents' place, Your Honor.
At the girlfriend's parents' place? They'll
Yes,
let
Your
you do
Honor.
that?
Yes, Your Honor. I was
I
there
take-
literally last night.
Okay, and I take it they're not Amish.
Well, no, they're not Amish.
Okay, that's
They
okay.
weren't. I was in jail last night. I mean, the night before, Your Honor.
In which jail? Newton?
This jail, the one,
Yeah, he was here last night, Judge.
yeah, I was,
All right.
I've been here since 5 p.m.
So, Ms. Gillette, are you comfortable with an OR bond?
I think so, Judge.
Even if he goes back to Missouri?
I won't miss, like I said, I honestly will probably excuse my preference on who's in the office, but the moment Biden gets out of office, I do want to rejoin the military. And I do kind of don't want to have anything on my record.
The moment who gets out of my office?
Joe Biden.
Oh, you just
Yeah.
don't-
Yeah.
Just Commander in Chief, and you don't want to serve for him.
Yeah,
I
no,
got you.
I
Okay,
do not. But
understood. Okay,
I want to make sure everything's kind of cleared off my record as much as possible because I would like to go back to being a 15 November.
okay. You realize this incident in Greenwood County may affect what you've got going in Harvey County.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have an attorney there you can talk to?
I do not, Your Honor, but I could work towards getting one.
Okay, well, but you don't want one here because I can give you one if you want.
If it takes
up
about
to you.
paying, I mean, I would, but I mean, it's my first offense. I'm a little scared, but I don't know, Your Honor. Like I said, it's the first time having to really deal with something like this. So I don't necessarily know what to do.
Well, I'll be happy to. It sounds like you don't have any employment or any money, right?
No, Your Honor. I've been trying to find a job everywhere in Missouri, but the only time they're hiring is about next month or either next month or the beginning of summer.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you think about it. If you want to apply for an attorney, ask the jailer for a form and he can give it to you.
Yes,
He
Your
can
Honor.
also give you the form for the diversion program.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to take what I think is kind of a wild chance and give you an OR bond of 5,000. Well, let's see. What's his scheduled bond set at, Deputy?
It's 2,500, Judge.
All right, I'm going to set it at 2,500 OR.
Yes, Your Honor. And when is the money due, Your Honor?
You don't put the money up unless you fail to come to court. If you fail to come to court, we'll issue a warrant. We'll seek a judgment against you for $2,500 and it'll have to come out of your pocket sooner or later.
Yes, Your Honor.
But when's your court date?
Next month on the 28th.
Okay, no, it's this month on the 28th.
All right, this month on the 28th. Yes, Your Honor.
That is what you said, Missy, right? 4/28.
That's correct.
Okay, so 4/28.
Okay. All right, make sure you're here. That's what, 2 weeks from today?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, that's not right either.
It-
Just remember, it's
It's the 28th. It's 4/28. I will remember, Your Honor.
okay. And you make sure that you sign the bond sheet with an address and a telephone number where we can find you at any time.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ryan, you may go at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Oh.
Leave your parents' name and number, leave your girlfriend's name and number. All right, now let's